sẽ tới, thánh thơ ngồi chờ chọi như chó xù chờ sương rơi.
Right. Here goes. This is from the Jewish folklore again, and it's titled King Solomon and the Three Brothers. You know who King Solomon was, right? We spoke about that before.
Yes,
Master.
Sometimes, maybe in another story, if you don't know who he is, you look on the internet.
Yes, Master.
He's one of the most famous kings of all time. He and King David. And also because I can't tell everything in just one story, so maybe you look on the internet or maybe at another time when I read about his story.
Yes, Master.
I created a jewelry series called The Wisdom of Solomon.
Yes.
You know that?
Yes.
Yes, Master.
All right, so here's a story just to prove it. To prove that he has wisdom. Okay. A long, long time ago, there were three brothers who went to the capital in order to learn the Torah. The Torah is the Bible of the Jews.
Yes.
Master.
Learning with King Solomon. Oh, how lucky. Solomon wasn't just a king. He was also a master because he was wise and had wisdom and was enlightened.
Yes.
At that time, probably we didn't have these printing machines, or they did not discover or invent those printing tablets. Later on, maybe they used the wood to carve the words and then keep printing it into many books.
Right.
So in those times, in order to learn something, you have to go to some expert who had a library of his own or that kind of book or this kind of book. At those times, to have a book yourself was kind of a fortune.
Yes, Master.
It was not easy like us nowadays. We could even print it from the internet or read it even online. So the three brothers went all the way from their area to the capital in order to learn the Torah with King Solomon. And they stayed with the king all 13 years. One day, the three of them were sitting together having a chat. And one said, "What are we doing here, by the way? We have left our house, left everything behind in order to come here just to learn the law." Or actually, meaning probably the law of the universe, like initiation.
Right.
Yes,
Master.
Master.
Just like before, when people became a monk or nuns in order to stay with the Buddha or with the elder senior monks in order to learn what the Buddha taught and all these universal principles and wisdom.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
So it's not like they went there to become a policeman or something. The law is a different law.
Yes,
Yes.
Master.
And most of these principles and orders, rules of the universe were contained in Bibles in the old time that was left behind by wiser sages and saints. Now, one of them say, "We left everything behind to come here in order to study the law." Maybe how to become enlightened.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
But all the way up to now, already 13 years have passed. We haven't learned anything really. So maybe we should say goodbye to this place and then go back home. So they all thought like that. And then they went in to express their opinion and desire to the king. Your Majesty. They didn't say Your Majesty here, but I guess they should. We want to come to say goodbye to you, to Your Majesty, in order to go home. Immediately the king asked his treasurer to bring out 300 pieces of gold. And the king said to the three brothers, "Okay, now you can choose. Either I will teach you 3 wise pieces of advice, or each of you will get 100 pieces of gold." So the three of them talked together right there, and then they picked the gold. Typical. Huh?
Yes.
Then they say goodbye to the king and left. After all three of them left the capital for a distance about maybe 4 kilometers, they say 4 dặm, maybe 4 miles or something. Then suddenly the youngest one said, "What are we doing now? What is it that we are doing? Huh? We came here for gold or for the Torah?" He was asking like that.
Yes, Master.
Your little brother has something to tell you. I suggest that we go back to the king, return the gold, and then learn something wise from the king instead.
Oh.
The two elder brothers said, if you want to return the gold, then you do it. But both of us, we will not throw away our gold. So they both continue going. And then the youngest brother went back to see King Solomon and told him, "Your Majesty, when I came here, it was not gold that I was seeking. It's not a priority. Please take back your gold and teach me these 3 wise pieces of advice." So King Solomon said, "Oh, my son, I'm going to teach you these 3 wise pieces of advice. Number 1, when you are traveling, always start your journey in the morning, at dawn, early morning, and then at night you should pitch your tent before it becomes dark. Yeah. When it's still bright. Yeah. The second piece of advice is, if you see any river full of water, never try to walk across it until the water has ebbed down. Wait until the water has ebbed down. And the third wise piece of advice is, never ever tell woman any secret things, even if it's your own wife." That I cannot keep, King Solomon. I'm sorry, Your Majesty, because I'm a woman. That's why they know everything. I always tell them everything, and I got into trouble. Never mind, it's good. Sometimes we can stop it on time. That's good. If we cannot, then too bad. I talk to my diary. I tell my diary instead. Okay. Even if it's your wife, you never tell the woman anything that is supposed to be secret. So the youngest brother said goodbye to the king, rode on the horse, and galloped fast to follow the 2 elder brothers. When he saw them, when he caught up with them, the 2 brothers asked him, "Now, what did you learn?" Huh? So the younger brother said, "I have learned what I have learned." He became wise already. Not only he doesn't tell woman, but he doesn't even tell his brothers. They did not deserve it, right? They held on to their goal instead of wanting to be wise.
Right.
See, so gold was even more precious to them than wisdom, even from the king, from the wise king.
Yes, Master.
But of course, you can't even blame them. They left everything. Imagine it's you. They left everything behind, and if they went home again, it's not sure if they can even get any job immediately. So they need money.
Yes, Master.
Yes.
And then also they stayed with King Solomon 13 years, and they didn't learn anything. That's according to the story, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not that easy, you know. When you went to see the master in the old times, they made you do labor work and do everything else, anything they want, but not teaching you the essential thing, not immediately.
Yes.
Sometimes it takes years, sometimes it takes more than 10 years, like in this story. But you know that through many other old stories as well.
Right.
Yes.
Because the master has to test to see if the disciples are worthy.
Right.
For example, I give initiation. At the time of initiation, we emphasize that it's only for you. You should not tell anybody unless the master permits for some reason.
Yes.
You cannot tell. But some people just think they can. I told you already.
Right.
Yes, Master.
Not only do they harm themselves, but their merits are gone. Their protection is taken away, not by the master, but by the council of the universe.
Yes, Master.
Because they're not worthy. And they also have no protection for their so-called disciples. The ones initiated by them, they get nothing.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
They have no spiritual master with them 24/7. They have no merit, no wisdom, nothing.
Yes.
Master.
So, in the old times, it was very difficult to learn something from the master at all.
Yes,
Right.
Master.
Sometimes he could stay forever, and you got nothing. Okay. Right. So the two brothers asked him, and he also didn't say anything. He said, I have learned what I have learned. Yeah. So the three of them continue on their journey. When it was almost twilight already, they all saw that this place here was very good for camping at night. Yeah.
Yes.
So the youngest brother said, "Oh, let us stay here for the night, and then we leave tomorrow morning. You see, this place we have water, we have dry wood all around, and then we have a lot of grass, so our horses can also eat."
Yes,
Yes.
Master.
The two brothers kind of laughed sarcastically, and told him, "You talk like a loony." That means crazy, yeah. Ever since you threw away your own gold just to buy 3 pieces of whatever advice from King Solomon, we both don't understand who you are anymore and what has become of you. Huh? Yeah. Why do we have to rest here when we could continue going maybe another 8 miles and even further in the night, tonight, so that we can get home earlier? So the youngest brother said, "Well, if that's what both of you wish, then you can. I cannot stop you. But me, I stay here. I'm not going anywhere." So the 2 elder brothers continue going,
Yes.
and the youngest brother stayed behind, where he felt it was favorable. So he put up his tent, made the fire, and let the horse go out and eat the grass. And after he ate food himself, he lay down and slept like a baby. Peacefully, yeah. On the contrary, the 2 brothers riding the horses kept going until the night suddenly became very dark. They didn't see where they could find any grass for the horses, not even dry grass, and they could not find any dry wood to make a fire. And then afterwards, a big storm and snowstorm came upon them, and both of them died because of the cold,
Wow.
because of the freezing cold. Both of them froze and died. In the morning, early morning, the youngest brother woke up, rode the horses, continued on the road that the 2 brothers were supposed to be going on yesterday. But then he found only both of their bodies. And the youngest brother, he banged himself on the floor and was crying so much. He was so heartbroken. And then finally he dug a big hole and wrapped the 2 brothers and buried them there. And he took the 2 brothers' gold and continued on his way. After a while, the sun came out and all the snow melted. Thus there was a river on his way that became full of water, yeah,
Yes.
and even covered all the both sides of the shore, covered very high. So he stayed there and waited for the water to recede.
Yes.
While he was waiting, he saw many of King Solomon's workers walking towards him with 2 horses loaded with a lot of gold, with gold in bags. So they asked him, "Why are you not going through the river? Why are you not crossing the river?" He said, "Because the river is full of water. It overflows the bank with water."
Yes.
The 2 workers of Solomon heard that, but they did not care. So they tried to find many ways to cross the river, and then the river took them away
Oh, yes.
with a strong water current. They were gone. They drowned. Oh, the kid, the youngest brother, waited until the water receded, and then took also all that gold
Oh.
that was still on the riverbed, yeah, and continued going home, and was very safe, yeah. The wives of the 2 brothers, my God, what wives, waiting 13 years long, eh?
Wow.
Yeah, such a wife you wish you have, eh, boys? Bad luck. Now you're too busy. No wives ever want you. Same with me. I don't want any wives either. All right. So now, the 2 wives of the 2 bigger brothers saw him coming back, and then they went to visit him and asked about their husbands. So he had no heart to tell them the issue, the incident. So he told them, "My 2 brothers still stay with the king to continue studying." And after that, he began to take care of his own business. He bought some farming fields and maybe grape fields, and then he bought a house and many animals, people, all that. Yeah. One time, his wife was very, very curious and asked him, "My dear husband, please tell me, where did you acquire so much gold from like this?" So he slapped his wife in the face and said, "It's none of your business."
Wow.
Oh, don't do that to any of your wives because you don't have any. But I guess he wanted to cut it clean.
Yes.
So that she never will bother him again about that. But many, many other times, she still continued flattering him, lovey-dovey, trying all the woman's vices, woman's badness, to ask him again and again. So finally, he could not bear it, so he told her. I guess one of those lovey-dovey sessions. A man always gets often. So he told her everything. One day, both of them argue with each other somehow, and the wife kind of lost, could not win in the argument, so she screamed out loud. She yelled. She said, "Hey, both of your brothers are elder, and you still can kill them. You can murder them. And not to talk about me, huh? One day you will kill me also." She yelled very loud like that.
Oh, wow.
So the 2 elder brothers' wives heard that. They went up to the king and told the king, reported to the king. So the king ordered to catch this man, the youngest brother, in order to kill him. Because he's a robber and a murderer. Robbing things, robbing gold from the 2 brothers, and even kill them. But he didn't kill them, right?
Right.
Yes.
They killed themselves. They didn't listen to the king's wise advice.
Right.
Yeah. It's a problem with the ego. They think they're elder, They know everything better than the younger one. And then they didn't want to listen to him because that's the way they think they are elder. And they also probably feel bad, like they took the gold and he took the advice and he even did not tell them
Yes.
all that and took all kinds of things together. So they just left and then it was bad luck. They die in the storm, the snowstorm.
Yeah.
And this wife, she knew the truth, but she was just yelling it to shut him up.
Yes, Master.
She knows that her husband did not kill the two brothers. Well, she just said that. When she lost the argument, she used a tactic like that. Yeah. So after the king's order, they got him and brought him all the way to the execution area. But before he got to the execution area, he told the executioner, please, please, I beg you, let me just report something to the king one last time. Then you can still kill me. So they brought him to the king. And he bowed, he prostrated in front of the king and said, Your Majesty, long before, there were 3 brothers who came here to learn the Torah with you. I was the youngest one who has returned the gold and was lucky to be taught personally by you with 3 wise advices. Oh, so the king immediately understood what has happened. Yeah, so he said, oh, all right, don't be afraid, don't be afraid. The gold that you have picked up from your brothers and also from my workers, my slaves, all are yours. You can keep them. You go back home now and enjoy the good life with the woman that you love. What kind of woman that you can love? Lucky I don't have this kind of woman that I love. So at that time, King Solomon uttered the 2 sentences that later people recorded in a book of idioms. In that book, they have many, many wise verses, yeah?
Yes.
And these 2 sentences that were uttered by the king at this time were written in it as well. So he was uttering these 2 sentences. He said, to be wise is better than to have gold. To have high knowledge is better than silver. Yeah. Okay, that's it.
Wow.
And the story ends here.
Thank you, Master. Very nice story, Master.
All right, my love. Anything you want to ask about this story or any comments, any wisdom you have learned? So quick, even though you didn't return to me any gold, but you can tell me.
Well, it just seems, Master, he got the better deal. The 3 brothers were supposed to get 3 wisdom, but
Yes.
he alone got all 3 wisdom.
No, actually, the 3 brothers should have all 3, each one of them, if they stayed.
Oh, okay.
Not like each one have 1 wisdom. No, it's not that.
Okay.
Yeah. Any of them can return the gold and have the 3 pieces of wisdom. But the 2 brothers were tired. Maybe his wife had emailed him and told him, you come back home now or else. Yeah. Anyway, there are many reasons why people prefer physical richness to enlightening wisdom.
Yes, Master.
Because we are so punished, tortured, and harassed on this planet in this physical domain. And people just have to worry about their survival.
Yes, Master.
Yeah, 13 years when they learn nothing, you can't blame them either.
No, Master.
That's right.
13 years with the wife, with the telephoning, emailing every day. How can they bear? Have you got anything yet? Have you come back home quick then? Otherwise, there are some neighbors who were looking at me the other day. Yeah. 13 years is a long time to be with the master and learn nothing. But they didn't know the story of Milarepa, that's why. Huh? if they were born a little bit later, they would know the story of Milarepa, and then they would not complain. Because Milarepa had more hardship than them.
Yes.
King Solomon did not ask them to build one house after another and tear it up and build another one. Yeah. Like Milarepa's master.
That's right.
But both these stories are similar because the disciple has to wait a long time in order to get something. And finally, the king wanted to give it to them because 13 years is long. So the king thought, oh, okay, it's about time. I should reward him with something. But the king knows so well human psychology. He brought gold out first. Oh, and gold glittering like that. For 13 years, they have been almost like slaves.
Yes.
They have been like small potatoes. They are eating whatever was given and working with everybody long hours without anything and learned nothing. So, of course, they give in.
Yes.
This human weakness.
Yes.
If the king was more merciful, taught them earlier and let them go back to their wives and kids. Only wives, I think no kids, that's why. I didn't see any kids, any children in here. So probably they don't mention it. Maybe they have also. Okay. So you cannot really blame them.
No, Master.
Not like immediate enlightenment. Do nothing, get it right away. Some still don't even believe it, and some even come in for different purposes and don't even get wisdom.
Right.
Well, but they didn't have to return any gold, so they lost nothing. They lost the chance of thousands or millions or aeons of lifetimes to be finally liberated from this devil circle. And they just felt it. Such a pity. They already met the guy who could take them home but did not listen, did not want to, did not follow. Truly pitiful. And all the gold in the world cannot even exchange for that chance. Anybody who knows it truly would feel very, very regretful or feel sorry for those kind of people.
Yes.
Yes, Master.
Too dumb, too stupid, too ignorant. They've been in the world too long, life after life, habits forming, that they should just chase after material things, gold, silver, house, kids and wife, whatever. But you see, the Bible says, seek you first the kingdom of God, and all the things shall be added unto you.
Yes.
Yes, Master.
Maybe King Solomon also gave him initiation, not just the three things that the king knew before they departed, that there will be such and such trouble on their journey. So he told him, these three things, these are just extra.
Yes.
It doesn't sound a lot. He knew in advance that the people will be like that and will die. So he told, but they didn't want to listen.
Yes,
Yes.
Master.
And even second-hand knowledge from the younger brother, they also did not listen. Luckily, the younger brother understood.
Yes.
Yes, Master.
Maybe the king gave him enlightenment also, initiation. According to his life, his doings, and all the wise things that he said, he was an enlightened king and master. But unluckily for these two brothers, they did not recognize that. They thought they just went there, just repeating whatever from the Torah and tried to learn it by heart or can learn or not, that's all. They didn't think the king had something else, which is not written, cannot be written, and cannot be read, cannot be assimilated by the brain or by the mind.
Yes.
That's why. So the little brother was wiser. He came back for wisdom. So it's not these three things only. These three things are just common sense that the king reminded the brothers to be cautious, that's all.
Yes.
Common sense. You should do that. You should do that. The king knew in advance, that's why. But these are not the things that was the gold.
Yes.
It is, of course, because you saved the little brother's life. But it's not that. It's not just that. After 13 years, the king would have wanted to give them initiation. Just like Milarepa, after so much hardship, and trouble. Then finally the master gave him initiation, the real initiation. Even he tried to steal it sneakily behind the master, but he didn't get anything. He went there for cheating the other disciples and wanted to get initiation. They gave him, but he had nothing. And that's how they knew that maybe it's not from the master's permission. Because the master's wife just wrote a letter telling them to do it.
Yes.
But it's not from the master.
Yes, that's right.
So you see, even the wise, day after day, night after night, together with the master for years, for decades, or a whole lifetime, and witnessed so many initiation ceremony, she still did not have any power to give Milarepa anything.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Because the master did not agree, did not permit.
Right.
That's why I told you it's similar to the two so-called disciples. They went out and did it by themselves, gave people nothing. Not only that, they lost their own merit of the initiation,
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Master.
lost everything, and almost lost their life. One did. The other one survived maybe because he repented sincerely, but still has not recovered.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Yes, Master.
It's not I who decides anything. Not I alone. There are many people who work in the universal different departments. Like even if I have a company, we have an accountant. If you want money, you have to go to the accountant, for example.
Yes.
And even then, with my permission, because it's my company, my money.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Even though I don't manage the money, but it's all mine.
Right.
Everybody has their share, and the rest is mine. I have to use it for the poor people, for Supreme Master Television, for awards, for anything, for our expenses, repairing and maintenance, buying equipment, all kinds of stuff.
Right.
Yes, Master.
You know, every little thing adds up.
Yes.
Yes, Master.
So it's not like you just learn the oral method and then you go down and you can teach anybody. At the time of initiation, you were told not to,
That's right.
Right, Master.
and you should listen and obey the master's instructions. Otherwise, you harm yourself. We explain that. But some people, ego is too big and ambitious,
Yes.
Yes.
wild ambitions. Want to be famous, want to be called master and all that stuff. So stupid. These are all empty words. Serve nothing, serve nobody. So stupid. You see that and you know how big their ego is and how lowly their ambition is. Why don't you just ask the master?
Right.
Right.
Unless heaven told you, like in the case of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Heaven told him, see that?
Yes.
Yes.
Heaven sent angel Gabriel to tell him. And he became a prophet by heaven's decree, not that he wanted it. He did not even know what it was.
Yes.
I also never thought I would be a master in the beginning.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
And only afterwards, heaven kept telling me, people kept seeking me out, telling me that their master, their angel told them to come here, go there to search for me. They had never been there before.
Yes.
How did they even know where I was?
Right.
Like, for example, in New York City. New York City is not small.
Yeah. Right, Master.
I live in such a small temple in Queens even. It wasn't next to the UN headquarters or something that every day everybody passes. Why? No. Famous enough in Queens. There are many ghettos there. It's not a very posh quarter. Yeah. All right then. Any other comments or takeaways? Hello, wake up. No?
No,
No
Master.
more, no more comments, Master.
No, but at least you could say something, huh? That wakes me up. I was also kind of dozing. Oh, okay. Sometimes I'm more sleepy than at other times. 'Cause sometimes I haven't told me I have to go to do some conference.
Yes, Master.
Many things I have to do. Many things, not just physical work, eh?
Yes.
Right.
Yes, Master.
Master.
Okay, my love. If nothing, then I guess the story is very straightforward.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it is. It is.
You understood, right?
Yes.
Yes, Master.
Yeah, you see, we should seek knowledge, wisdom. And then we even have gold.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
And you have wisdom anyway. You learn it every day
Yeah.
from different ways, inside and outside.
Yes,
Right,
Master.
right, Master.
But first learn the outside initiation. It will help you to learn inside.
Yes.
Without that, it's difficult to learn inside.
That's
Yes,
right.
Master.
Master.
Even though you sleep, you meditate, the master is always teaching you.
Right.
Yeah. But some are heavy, with such heavy karma and so mundane that it takes so much time and some cannot be done.
Right.
You know already those stories.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
The cat people understand me. Whenever I see one, I talk to them. They know.
Oh.
My dog people know everything. For example, when they were with me before, I was kind of caressing them and telling them lovey-dovey things, and then suddenly I said, okay, I have to go meditate now. They immediately stood up and went to their beds.
Wow.
Immediately. I mean, immediately.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Then went there and also meditated.
Oh.
Their type of meditation. Yeah, after a while. I say, looks just like my disciple. Okay, my love. Now then, if you don't want any more, I'll let you go to sleep. But till next time.
Thank you, Master.
Thank you, Master.
Thank you, Master.
Good night. You're welcome.
Good night, Master.
Good night, Master.
God bless.
God bless, Master.
God protect Master.
Love, love.
Remember, God, you are divine. Have a good night.